Seriously, how is no one talking about this in the lead up to to Worlds, dude? You've got a guy on a team who's about to play against potentially like Golden Guardians or Team VDS who was involved in a match fixing scandal like literally less than 6 months ago. This team seems dysfunctional, dude. Why would you pick up a guy who just left a team that's been banned for cheating and then just start him right away? Maybe there was like some kind of like weird internal drama, but this just seems like a really strange decision, no? You're like the best team in your league. Another team gets banned for cheating, and you're like, let's pick up their support. Why? Seriously, what is this? Who are these guys? What does this mean? Serious violations of the regulations and rules? When I'm looking at this data, I'm like kind of confused as to why Zen isn't playing. Because look at this win rate in spring. He's got a 77% win rate. I mean, okay, he's on a better team. And Pallet was on a team that had a bunch of people that were cheating on it, I guess, or somehow violating the rules. But my man is always over 69% in the league in terms of his win rate, which isn't, look, he's not crushing the league, that's for sure. And then he got absolutely shit on. Sorry, that's harsh, but it's true. He got absolutely dumpstered in MSI. They won 1 game, lost 5. So none of these guys are really like, going back to our earlier question of like, if we're running a team in the West and we want to doll out some cash, but not too much cash, so we go to Vietnam looking for talent, like none of these guys we're not getting any of these guys. It's not worth it. But if I had to pick, I'd pick Zen. So maybe he's like super toxic or something. I don't know. There just seems like there's a lot of drama in Vietnam, and I haven't heard about it. It's kind of crazy. Okay. So we're on one esports VN, and there's a Reddit thread too. We can check it out. But all right, VCS Sunset 2023 SBTC esports officially received a global ban from Riot after a series of investigations. And again, this is translated, so it's a little bit rough. So recently, the organizing committee of the VCS Hoang Hoan 2023 tournament officially announced the decision to sanction the SBTC esports team in the VCS tournament, specifically through the investigation process into the violations of the SBTC esports team. The organizers of the VCS Sunset 2023 tournament announced that the SBTC esports team has been disqualified from participating in all VCS tournaments due to violations, serious rules, and regulations of the tournament. Okay. I wish they would tell us what the hell that means, but okay. They're no longer allowed to participate in any activities. Yeah, makes sense. At the same time, the owner of the SBTC esports team, Mr. Tran Duc Chuang, was officially banned from participating in Riot's entire tournament system, as well as the players on the list below were banned from competing across the entire system. Riot's tournament system within 36 months after the VCS, so they can't play for 36 months, I think is what they're saying. Imper, DNK, Penguin, Dia1, and Vinboys are all banned for 36 months. What the f***? Is that like the whole roster that this guy was playing with? Yeah. His entire team got banned. Except for him. What the f***? Okay, all right, so the above decisions were adopted to absolutely ensure fairness and transparency in Riot Games tournaments. Okay. SBTC's competition was temporarily suspended to facilitate the investigation. Previously, SBTC's matches at VCS Hongkong 2023 were continuously postponed because the organizing committee needed to investigate some suspicions for violating tournament regulations. I mean, surely it's match fixing, right? In any sport, negative issues are not uncommon. However, with electronic sports, and especially League of Legends, this problem is even more sophisticated, even though Riot and tournament organizers all impose very heavy penalties. That doesn't really mean anything. Again, it might be the translation, though. According to some opinions, if there really is a SE player, Southeast Asian player, breaking the law, plus the tournament is now directly managed by Riot, A heavier penalty than before could be issued. The ban from competition can last for 2 years or more. So they got 36 months. Or even a global ban sentence if these acts have a serious impact. And they did. So it was pretty serious. So after many days of waiting, the answer was given. However, the Vietnamese League of Legends community in general, as well as some individual SBTC esports players, still cannot accept the truth because they need a clear explanation and reason for the ban, specifically proof of violation. So is this like a... Like, I'm wondering if this is like a Dr. Disrespect situation where we just will never know what. But I think it's like pretty clear that it's match fixing, right? Which, to be honest, if we go back to like Pallet's stats, means that his stats are completely for the entire time he was on this roster. If he truly wasn't cheating and his whole team was, and they're like fixing matches so that they lose them on purpose, and he still has a winning win rate, and like his teammates are like running it down. That's kind of crazy. I mean, it also means his stats don't matter at all. I still don't know how, if you're GAM, you pick this guy up, though. It just seems like a lot of drama when you already have a support who's like pretty good. Like, okay, so hang on. This is another article. Pallet exposes the lack of professionalism of SE management, which I assume is SBTC, like their parent company. SBTC's esports scandal is still causing a stir in the Vietnamese League of Legends community, especially in the context that this team has been suspended by Riot from competing. We already covered this. Most recently, Pallet, SE's former support, I don't know why it says just former, has also revealed the lack of professionalism in SBTC's management. The Vietnamese League of Legends community has been in stir in recent days after the VCS organizer made a new announcement regarding the SBTC esports incident. Accordingly, all of SE's matches were forfeited. We knew that. And all players except Pallet will be suspended. Okay. This information surprised many VCS fans when previously Pallet was the name that SE kicked out of the gaming house and was not paid. Oh, holy crap. Wow. Dude, that sucks. You're telling me this kid was literally on this team. How old is he? He's like 22? And he's like, oh, my whole team's cheating. And they're like, yeah, get the out of here and we're not paying you. What? What the? Okay, hang on a second. Shortly after that, during his live stream, Pallet also shared more details about his previous drama with SBTC esports. Specifically, Pallet said he was kicked out of the gaming house without receiving any explanation from SE, probably that they were cheating. In particular, after having a new investor, SBTC esports has had many changes in personnel. One of them is the team management role when Nate is no longer in charge. I guess their coach was replaced. However, Pallet said that this new manager had absolutely no professional knowledge about esports, as he was a personal trainer and behaved unprofessionally with Pallet and asked him to leave the gaming startup house. Not only Pallet, teacher Ba, I don't know, probably like maybe their old coach, also spoke up to confirm information about this manager. Teacher Ba, whoever the hell that is, said this is the former PT of the SBTC team when it was taken over by Amphers, which I guess is another holding. However, after being taken over by a new investor, this person was made manager of the League of Legends team SBTC esports. Holy dude, what a show. So they brought in a new investor, and the new investor was like, hey, personal trainer guy who's in charge of health and wellness of the players, you're now the head coach. You're now in charge of draft. You're now in charge of personnel. Go get them. All you, buddy. What? I don't know who Teacher Ba is. They keep referencing him. But all right, Teacher Ba, Coach Ba, I don't know. Also affirmed that at the present time, he no longer has anything to do with SBTC, and does not know anything about information related to this team's drama. At the present time, perhaps what most VCS audiences expect is the results of the investigation from the organizers to know which names will be involved in the violations of SBTC esports. We know already that it was everyone except for Pallet. Bro, this is a wild story. Seriously, how was no one talking about this in the lead up to Worlds, dude? You've got a guy on a team who's about to play against potentially like Golden Guardians or Team VDS who was involved in a match fixing scandal like literally less than 6 months ago. What? And then I got so many questions about, like, why does GAM pick this guy up when they already have a decent support? Like, I feel bad for him if he was kicked out and like had nothing to do with this. That sucks. But like, you're going to Worlds, man. You don't need this shit. I guess at the time they weren't. They had just gotten dumpstered at MSI. Okay, to be fair. But still, man. Dude, this team makes TSM look like a well-run, oiled machine. Holy. This is the wildest thing, man. I'm just trying to, at this point, all right, so at this point we've kind of covered most of it. I'm just trying to figure out if, what they were busted for. Okay, so this article is basically saying VCS and Riot organizers had to ask for help from Sports Radar to investigate whatever incident they were looking at. Probably match fixing, to be honest. For those who don't know, Sport Radar is a Swiss company specializing in researching and analyzing sports data around the world. Notably, Sport Radar is very experienced in negative warnings related to sports tournaments using the Universal Fraud Detection System, UFDS, a system specializing in detecting fraud. Okay, so it's almost certainly match fixing. In addition, for those who do know mainstream sports, Sport Radar has cooperated with many large and small sports tournaments around the planet. Typical examples include the NBA, World Cup, Olympics, etc. In Vietnam, Sport Radar is no longer strange to those who regularly follow football. I guess soccer. Again, we're translating from Vietnam. The company, I was going to say, the Vietnamese aren't a big football country. This company also cooperates with VPS or VBA of Vietnamese basketball. Okay. However, if it really happens that Riot and VCS organizers have to refer to Sport Radar to investigate the incident, it can be understood that SE's problems, so SBTC, this time are not simple. And perhaps there are requests that are beyond their authority, so Riot or VCS organizers cannot intervene. So it's like actual charges of fraud. As commentator Huang Luan, who I assume is the VCS commentator himself, once commented, to solve SE's case, SBTC, it may be necessary to rely on the police force. Holy God. Okay. In addition, some viewers also recalled previous shocking incidents such as Overpower Esports PhD selling Max Fishing case or the Zeros case. So these are just references to the fact that in Southeast Asia, there has been a number of match fixing scandals. However, in these cases, VCS and Riot both made extremely quick decisions. Even though the Zeros incident, so another match fixing incident, had a serious impact, it was not as long lasting as it is now. So it sounds like they took their time with this, which is rare for Riot. Then again, it's a different office in Asia than it is here in the US. However, up to now, the organizers of VCS, Riot in Vietnam, or Sport Radar have not made any announcement about this, but perhaps the results of the case will be available in a short time, specifically after the VCS sunset. So this is before they knew what was going to happen, which is that they were banned and all their matches were forfeited. Because the parties also need to ensure the players and teams with the best spirit for the Asian Games, I think, as well as the 2023 World Championship, which will take place immediately afterwards. Dude, this is a mess. This is an utter mess. Good God. Is there any follow-up stuff here? I just want to see okay, so just really quick, we have a Reddit thread that I think summarizes this. So actually, this Reddit thread actually has a source here. Oh, it's a Facebook post. Then you know how it's. Oh my God, it's a Vietnamese Facebook post. That's how you know it's legit. I guess it is a VCS account on Facebook. I don't really want to stay here. I feel like I'm gonna get a virus. But okay, let's zoom in here. Okay, so we already touched on a lot of this. SBTC was banned, and this is sort of like a source trust me bro Reddit post, but it is what it is. So yeah, they just eliminated them from playoffs. They admit all matches were a loss. So however, during initial investigation, 3 individuals were found to not be suspicious and will no longer be under competing suspension. That's Pallet, Null, who was the coach, which is interesting. How is that possible? Wait, what? This just gets weirder and weirder. So wait a second. This team was found to be match fixing, probably, or committing fraud of some kind, to the level that they needed to bring in an external organization that could validate fraud data to confirm that they were cheating before they did anything. And then after the investigation, so during the investigation, they suspend everybody, which is fair enough, right? After they finish their investigation, they're like, okay, the support player, Pallet, the whole reason we're in this story to begin with, he's fine. Also, your coach is fine, and this random analyst guy is fine. Bro, how are 4 people on your team cheating and committing fraud without you knowing? I know it's been done before in like Counter-Strike, for example, but like, really? Then again, we've already established that this guy was a personal trainer until like 4 months before all this bullshit started, so maybe that didn't help. Some notable points. As of now, there's still no mentions of an official again, this is old. Around 3 weeks ago, members of SBTC were also dropped. Okay, so this explains. So around 3 weeks ago, members of SBTC were also dropped and replaced from the National Asian Games roster. And those people were Dia1, who's the mid laner, who was found guilty. Pallet, who was found innocent, but Vietnam as a country did the smart thing and didn't bring him along because he was under investigation. And Slater, who was, I guess, ADC, who transferred to GAM. Interesting. So as Slater is still competing with GAM, most have speculated he's also in the clear and was dropped from the national team only for support compatibility reasons. We'll check that. We'll check that because I don't remember seeing him in there, but I wasn't looking at ADCs, to be fair. Also, during that time, Pallet released a statement claiming he was forcibly kicked out of the SBTC gaming house. We already covered that. With his pending salary still being withheld by the organization, he is currently staying at the house of an acquaintance influencer who provided him a temporary streaming setup. Pallet has been streaming semi-regularly, but still gives extremely vague answers when asked about the circumstances at SBTC, which is the smart thing for him to do, particularly if someone's going to charge federal crimes in Vietnam, bro. I'm not messing around with that. It is unclear whether that meant he was not allowed to reveal anything as it's still under investigation or simply because he hasn't had the slightest clue of what might have happened. Bro, it doesn't matter. You don't talk about ongoing litigation when you're implicated. This Reddit poster does not understand how the world works if he thinks that he should be talking about an ongoing case in Vietnam that might have federal charges. Forget it, dude. Just play your children's game. Just play League of Legends. Do not talk about that if you're Pallet. Good God. What a weird thing to add on here. Okay. So, all right, here's Slater. So it looks like Slater also went to GAM. And he's playing. Okay. So this explains why we brought in Pallet. All right. So GAM, in one of the strangest, least PR positive moves I've seen in esports, other than just TSM existing, decided, hey, this SBTC team is pretty good. Most of their players are under investigation, and their team is going to have to fold. Let's pick up Slater and Pallet, and we'll add them to our team, even though it's pretty wishy-washy as to whether or not they were doing anything wrong. It seems pretty clear that Pallet didn't. I mean, he's kicked out of the house and didn't get paid. That's pretty rough. But the Slater character, I don't know, what's going on with him. I'm not trying to insinuate he did anything wrong. And one would hope that GAM did due diligence on both these guys before they picked them up. What I'm getting at is it's just really strange from any organization to pick up people who are potentially involved in a crime. It just seems like unnecessary to do that. I mean, they're trying to make a push probably to make it to Worlds, which I guess worked out for them, but this is a good team historically. I don't know why they felt the need to do this. This is the organization that almost always finishes first or second. So Slater and Pallet come in here in August when all this bullshit goes down. But they are coming off of a win in spring playoffs with Zin and Style, who's got a sick haircut, by the way. Nice. I guess this whole MSI result really just destroyed them. So they're really betting on I guess, getting out of groups or at least doing better than they did at MSI with these two guys from SBTC. It's just weird because they beat them in the spring playoffs, dude. Like, what? 3-1, too. This is just a very strange story, and I'm really kind of surprised that obviously the Vietnamese media have covered it pretty extensively, but there's like no English coverage on this at all. I'm just so confused as to why this isn't being discussed more. Not that like you'd be able to match fix worlds, not that GAM is even going to do that well. It's just a really interesting story. So anyway,